Hey, welcome to the Comics Cube, located in the heart of downtown Kokomo at 121 East Sycamore Street. Today, me and producer man are going to bring you the finest in comics. So we're going to start off with the best comic book that came out this week. It came out from DC's Vertigo line by Scott Snyder and Shawn Murphy, and it's called The Wake #1. You have a little bit of an action, drama, mystery. For those who are into 80s cinema, I would relate this fairly closely to something around the John Carpenter's The Abyss. I just think that was John Carpenter. Producer man, you're a big film buff. The Abyss, John Carpenter. We're going to go with the John Carpenter doing The Abyss because it had great digital effects. I think it was the first use of CGI, actually. But the main story revolves around a group of scientists coming together to deal with some mysterious thing that has popped up in the ocean off the coast of Alaska. Deals with some secret military science, some secret ecological things going on. This group is a diverse group of scientists that include experts in oceanic sounds, skin sampling, and other stuff. Very complicated, complex. Vertigo for DC Comics is known for being the non-superhero, non-capes and tights kind of stuff. This is where Sandman came from. This is where Alan Moore's V for Vendetta came from. This is kind of what the Watchmen would have spun out of if it had been around during that time period. Tight story, good writer, great artist, putting together some very interesting things going on out there. This is a book that I think is going to appeal to a lot of different people, including non-comic fans. This is the kind of thing that you want to put into the hands of fans of The Fringe and Supernatural, Torchwood, and all those kind of cool, fun things. So check it out. The Wake #1 from Vertigo, DC Comics. It is my pick of the week. We're not even going to wait to get to it. We're not going to say best for last. This is the big book because, well, we're on a time constraint today. So let's talk about some other stuff. Hey, we're going to take a slight detour from the big companies, Marvel, DC, Image. We're going to look at some truly small press kind of books. These is Amigo Comics. They are putting out the Westwood Witches by El Torres and Abel Garcia. I just like saying El Torres. I don't know if that's even his real name, but I like it. Westwood Witches is a very funky, different kind of book. Lately, we've had this whole Wiccan witch thing, maybe made popular by Joss Whedon and Buffy. Maybe it's made by the happy, hippie-loving witches that are out there right now. Hi to my aunt. This is definitely taking the dark turn. This is going back to the 1980s heavy metal rock scene of death, destruction, and Satan worshiping. This is Desperate Housewives meets everything that your mother warned you about in the 70s and 80s about witches. This is not the happy, nice witch type stuff. This is human sacrifice. This is some nasty, mean stuff. It's an interesting book, completely not capes and tights. Not kid-friendly whatsoever. If I've got any complaint about this book at all, it's the fact that I said it's got a little bit too much of a tinge of the Desperate Housewives feel, right down to some of the main characters reminding me / resembling characters from that TV show. Also, a good friend of mine is involved in it as a creative consultant, Mr. Rafael Nieves, and I think this book needs anything. It's more creative consulting for Mr. Rafael Nieves. Hey, back to some DC Comics today. They're getting a little love. We don't usually give them as much love as we have, but this particular issue, Justice League of America #4, Jeff Johns, Brett Booth, big thing. I'm saying if you're just a casual fan, this is a good issue to pick up. Funky little story, good art, but overall, character gets his head blown off. Might be a character gets her head blown off. Being very tricky about the personal pronouns here being used for this character, because I don't want to give anything away. But needless to say, a character at the end of this book is getting their head blown off. All right, not literally. They're getting a bullet put through the head. That's kind of a big deal in comics. When you blastrate a major character, it's going to have some ramifications. Now, it is comics, so maybe it's not real, maybe it's faked, maybe it's staged, maybe there's some phony thing going on. But the big shock of the week, besides The Wake being a really good book, and the X-Men being is death in Justice League of America #4, apparent death. But hard to fake this one. Blue Beetle got a bullet through the head. He hasn't come back yet. They even reset a universe, and that guy didn't get to come back. We're going to finish up today's show with 3 honorable mentions. Out this week from Marvel, their big book of the week, X-Men #1, featuring an all-female cast. Professional writer here in town, Mr. Paul Allor, has stated that he thought it was one of the top books of the week, said it was better than The Wake #1. I disagree with him, and whereas he's a professional, I'm a professional with a longer standing in the industry. Next up, A book that we did a little Kickstarter with, an all ages, family friendly superhero scene from a creator out of Chicago. It's a 2-issue miniseries called The Honor Brigade Space Fight. And it's a great book for your tween-agers kind of thing. Younger kids can get into it. All new, all original characters, 2 issues. Every single copy that we have in the store has been signed by the creator and writer, Mr. Stillwell. So stop by and check that out. And our last thing to check out today, bring your tablets by. Bring your iPad, your Android tablet, whatever you've got, and check out this monstrosity here. It's called Anomaly. It is a $75 hardcover with the most impressive AR technology, augmented reality technology I have ever seen. Every single page of this giant original graphic novel sci-fi endeavor is AR enabled, and not just your basic little silly things. 3D characters popping up out of your screen. Some of the characters are interacting and arguing with you. Full schematics of some of the ships, walkabouts, turnarounds. This thing, bring your tablet in. We're going to let you poke through it for free. Check it out. This is going to make you think, wow, that tablet finally has a use other than checking my Facebook page. Impressive. And it's really heavy. That's it for today at Comics Cubed on the Cubed in Review. Me and Producer Man, thank you for watching, all 25 of you. So if we could get that up to about 50, we'd greatly appreciate it. We'll see you next time, right here on Cubed in Review at Comics Cubed in downtown Kokomo. Be groovy, folks.